We're about to go proper niche here, and I'm asking the question, what can businesses learn from the professional wrestling industry? I know this is a stretch. From 1995 to 2001, wrestling went through an incredible period of popularity. WCW and WWF, as they were known at the time, went head to head in the Monday Night Wars, poached each other's talent, and created a massive amount of exposure for wrestling across television. But by March 23rd, 2001, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the owner of the WWF, had completely bought out WCW. By 2002, they stood atop of the pile, having eradicated all of their competition. However, fast forward to 2021, and they've shed nearly 2/3 of their viewership on TV. And you've got to ask yourself why. Well, you haven't got to ask yourself, but I'm going to encourage you to. Don't kid yourself that competition isn't a good thing. Removing competition just creates apathy. If you haven't got someone every day inspiring you to be at your absolute best, then the nature of humans is that we won't be. And as a result of that, instead of looking at your competition as someone you need to destroy or beat or win against, think of them as an important way that you're kept on your toes and you're kept at your very best. Number 2, don't believe your own hype. You may have been the best last year, may even have been the best for the last 10 years, but as soon as you think that that entitles you to something, you're done for. The best businesses recognize that you're only as good as your last result. It's that constant need to be at your very best that helps companies through the tough times. Number 3, don't ever think for 1 second that you know better what your customers want than they do. Perhaps the biggest criticism of the WWE, as they've now rebranded to over recent years, is their unwillingness to listen to their audiences. They're paying fans. If your customers are telling you that they want more of X, give them more of X. Don't second guess them and give them Y. It's particularly frustrating for the wrestling because they've literally got people cheering and booing the people they like and don't. How can you not follow that advice? And never ever try and force them towards Z just because it suits your agenda. As soon as you stop listening, you lose the trust of the buyer, and that is something you don't come back from. Number 4, don't let greed hamper your focus. Doing one thing and doing it really well should always be the number 1 priority of your business. Trying to do lots of things dilutes your offering and ultimately means you're not really giving anyone what they want. And that can lead to customers no longer feeling aligned with your brand. In the WWE's case, it meant that they went out and hoovered up all of the talent across the world. It left them with a bloated, demotivated, an underutilized roster of people who weren't performing at their best. It's a bit like setting a sales team an unachievable target. Number 5, prioritize long-term customer needs over short-term revenue opportunities. What ultimately won WWE that battle was what we called the Attitude Era. At that time, they had an incredible grasp of the demographic that they were pitching their product to, and they were giving them all the things that they wanted and all the things that were going to resonate with that type of person, age group, and demographic. But then they started chasing sponsorship and primetime TV spots. And with that came a certain degree of expectation as to what they were going to be showing, because the brands wanted to align with something that met their values. That ushered in what we called the PG era. And that was what really started the decline. You see, they chased the dollars and they left their customers behind. Long-term customers who'd followed them for decades no longer identified with the TV shows that they were putting out. And the problem with that was the less people that watched, the less the sponsors wanted to pay them for those TV slots, which creates a vicious circle. I'm not suggesting in this video for 1 second that the WWE is going to fail. It's a $1 billion organization. However, their stock is down over 50%. And that was before COVID. And you can imagine the impact it's had by them being unable to tour around arenas, because like musicians, that's where they get the bulk of their revenue from. It's the live shows that they put on across the US and globally. But what it is about learning from the mistakes they've made and applying that to our business. Embrace your competition, stay grounded, listen to and shape your proposition around your customers. And lastly, stay focused on the end goal no matter what's going on around you. Who's the next Dwayne Johnson in your business? Who's the person playing John Cena whenever trouble erupts? You can't see me. Have you got a Vince McMahon at the head of your business? If you vaguely enjoyed this content, please smash that like button. Alternatively, please put in the comments down below things that you've noticed about why business owners fail. But for now, thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Well, you're a glutton for punishment, staying all the way to the end, but I really appreciate it. Now, if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe over here, somewhere. Am I anywhere near it? Not sure. Or watch one of the extra videos up here. Peace! Pretty gangster. Yep. I'll be on that TikTok soon. Definitely.